Hi guys, and welcome to Escape Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be reviewing the Watch Dive's WD16570 version 2. So I received the reviewer's discount on this watch, about half price, but no matter how I get a watch in for a review on this channel, you're always going to get my honest opinion every single time. And if by the end of this review you want to pick one of these up, I'll be leaving a link down in the video description. That is an affiliate link, so if you do use that link, it doesn't cost you any extra, it just earns me a little bit of commission. I will leave my code here just in case they don't have a sale currently going on it. It's Escape10 for $10 off your purchase. But yeah, if you use that link, it's just an easy way for you guys to help support the channel, so I really do appreciate it. The price I'm currently seeing is $199 US. There is an instant $20 off early bird coupon if you buy it within the first week or two of release, so that brings it down to $179. The watch comes in 5 different colorways that you can see here. We have both modern and vintage designs, so yeah, just check them out, see which one you like the best. The watch case is made of 316L stainless steel, has a sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, screw-down crown, screw-down case back, 200 meters of claimed water resistance, and the watch is powered by the Seiko NH34 automatic movement. So this is it, fellas. This is the watch that I personally have been waiting for a very, very long time. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing inherently wrong with any of those other ones that I've tried, but this is the one to get if you're going after that vintage 16570 look and feel. I say we get right into the full review, but before we do a quick wrist check today, wearing the fair suit. Put the model number right up here for you. Review for this one will be coming soon. Threw it on this FKM strap. Kind of a fun, sporty feel for it. Alright, so let's get into dimensions. We got a bezel diameter of 37.9 millimeters, a case thickness of 11.8 millimeters, 20 millimeter lug width, 46 millimeters lug tip to lug tip, and sized up for my 7.5 inch wrist with one link removed. It weighs 133 grams. So really interesting size. I was expecting this to be a 39 millimeter, but I think some of the loudspeakers over on Reddit got to them and they shrunk it down just a little bit. So 38 millimeters at the bezel. 11.8 millimeters thick is the thinnest ready to buy NH34 watch that I am aware of. If anybody knows of one different, thinner than this one, let me know, but 11.8 is very, very impressive for a watch with the NH34. So that's really awesome. Great lug to lug as well. Decent turn down to the lugs, as you can see there. So it hugs my wrist nicely. It's been very comfortable. It's a good solid weight to it as well. So I do love the way that this thing wears. So I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here we are on my 7.5 inch wrist, and I think it wears good. I was a little bit smaller than I was hoping it would be, but I still think it wears very nicely. You can see how nice and low and flat it sits on the wrist. Decent turn down to the lugs too. But yeah, I mean, it just feels really good. Pretty balanced on wrist as well, and just overall very comfortable. It looks good on the bracelet. It also looks good on a variety of different straps. So we have a cut to size FKM here, kind of in that Rolex style. Looking really, really good though. Very clean, very simple, but just works. So I've tried a lot of leather straps on this watch, and this is my favorite one. This is a hemsuit, dark brown leather, vintage, very thin, but looking really, really good on this watch in my opinion. What do you guys think? You guys knew I had to just try it on a red FKM cut to size. Kind of matches that GMT hand, and I think it actually looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? And lastly, here we are on a Cincy Strapco SF2. 2 layers underneath the watch there, still sitting very nice, and I just really like these Admiralty gray straps on this polar dial. I think it looks really, really good. No issues with strap clearances either, so go wild. This thing's kind of a strap monster. Alright, so let's get up. We'll talk about the case finishing. So first off, we have a brushed and polished case finishing here. Got a radial brushing on the bezel there, as you can see. It looks really good. Plays with the light nicely. Nice engraved numerals there filled with black paint. Everything done very good. It looks all aligned nicely as well, so that's a plus. But yeah, just very nice brushing on that bezel. It looks really good. We have angular brushing on the tops of the lugs there. Nice and fine angular brushing. It looks really, really good. More fine than most of these kind of vintage finishing watch that I've seen in the past. So that's kind of nice. It kind of blends into the bracelet a little bit better than some of the other ones do. So yeah, they did a good job on the finishing there. You can see at the side profile here, we do have a slight chamfer there on the bezel, looking really nice and crisp. And then we have fully polished sides. Some are going to complain about that. I think it's true to the original, so I like it. We have drilled lugs as well. We have these nice high polished chamfers on there as well. Everything is done to a very high standard. You can see here just the nice crisp transitions and nice smooth polishing. Polished crown guards as well. The crown tucks in beautifully. I got a bad example where the crown is pretty much right upside down. So usually crown alignment doesn't bother me, but when it's completely upside down like that, it kind of bothers me, triggers my OCD a little bit. I know there's nothing that watch dives can really do about that at this price point, so I'm fine with it. Just something that I thought I would vent a little bit about. But nice crown, good size, plenty of grip on it. It looks really good. These bottom corners here, these edges here, they've been rounded off nicely. Sometimes these ones can get a little bit sharp. That is not the case here. Same with this corner here, this edge here, a lot sharper than most of these oyster style cases that I've had. So this is one of the better ones in that regard. So I am very happy with that. Flipping it to the case back here, sterile case back, no big deal to me. Simple notches to get a tool in there. It's fully brushed. There's, again, just no sharp edges on the bottom of this at all. It all feels very nice and very comfortable. So yeah, overall, for the case finishing, I am very happy with it. I think it looks really, really good. They do consider this to be one of their higher end finishing watches, so I can definitely see that and feel that in the hand. All right, so let's talk about the crystal. We'll test it for sapphire real quick. It is positive for sapphire. The Cyclops is also sapphire. So we have just a flat piece of sapphire crystal. There is some anti-reflective coating on it, doing a pretty good job, especially on this white dial. It's kind of hard to tell how bad or good it'll be on a black dial, but I never say a flat crystal needs anti-reflective coating. So yeah, the fact that it does have some, it's clear AR as well. So I'm really happy with it. You can see the Cyclops here. Let me get the hand out of the way. The Cyclops alignment seems to be pretty good. It's not the best magnification. I'd say it's like maybe 1.5 times magnification. So it's not one that fills up the Cyclops completely, but also it still looks pretty good in there. It does a decent job of magnifying that. I think it looks fine. I've got no issues with it at all. But yeah, the crystal, it's just your typical flat sapphire crystal. It sticks up above the bezel just a little bit with a little chamfer on the outside there. Looks really good though. Nice and smooth and clean, and keeps the dial nice and legible, especially on this white model. So yeah, I don't have too much to complain about with the crystal. All right, we'll get in real close. We'll talk about the dial on this watch. And first off, I want to tell you guys that I asked for this watch early. I have one of the old batches with the mismatched Lume on the hands and the dial. There is a little bit of a mismatch, but subsequent models from here on out, they're going to be better than this one. So I'm still pretty happy with this, especially for the price we're paying. The Lume match is decent. It looks okay on camera here. It looks better in person. So yeah, just something I thought I would mention. But we do have a matte white dial. There's no texture to it at all. Just nice and simple and clean. Black printed minute track around the outside, centered in the dial opening nicely. The dial is a little bit bigger than your standard 28 millimeter dial. I believe it's like an opening of 30 millimeters, something like that, or 29, or something like that. So it is just a little bit bigger. Feels a little more spread out. I like the proportions. It definitely nailed that vintage proportions of the indices there. So they are applied indices. They are black surrounded. They're black painted, matte black. They look fantastic. Nice and contrasty. Nice height to them as well. And they're filled to the brim with BGW9. We have a printed logo here at the 12 o'clock position, centered nicely on the dial. Automatic, and then Pioneer 1 on the dial. You will see Pioneer 2 on the dial that has the orange GMT hand. I'm not sure why they did that. I thought these should all be Pioneer 2, but that's just me. It doesn't bother me too much either way. But the handset that they chose, again, nice vintage sized hands there. They're not the big, bold hands of the modern one. Same with the GMT hand. Looking really good. All black around the pinion there, and then just red on the stem coming out to the black tip on the GMT hand. Simple lollipop second hand. Again, all matte black, all finished very nicely. I wish they could have done something about the little silver pinion spot there. I don't think they could do anything, but it's just something that I notice every once in a while, and it kind of bothers me. But Yeah, otherwise, I think it looks fantastic. They really just nailed the dial on this watch. So yeah, kudos to Watch Dives for putting in the effort and getting this one right. So I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with the Lume as well. So I'm going to pop up a Lume shot here. You can see it against a couple other watches in the collection. And it just does a really good job. It's nice and consistent, even Lume application, pretty consistent between the dial and the hands. It lasts all night long. I could read this in the middle of the night with no issues. So yeah, I'm really happy with the Lume on this watch. All right, so let's talk about the movement on the watch. So movement inside is the Seiko NH34 automatic movement. So 21,600 beats per hour, 6 ticks of the second hand every second. It hacks hand winds, has a bidirectional winding rotor, so you don't get any of the rotor whirl. It does everything you need it to do. They're great. 40 hours of power reserve too. Yeah, I've got no issues with this movement at all. It's one of my favorite GMT movements. I've tried the 9075 and I'm just not a huge fan of that one just because it doesn't have a quick set date. So this one here, first position here, does the hand winding. It's nice and smooth. Pull it out to the second position, roll it back. That changes your date. Everything seems to be centered in there nicely. Roll it forward and that clicks, jumps the hour hand. Really nice and simple operation. And then pull it out to the third position. That hacks the movement, and this is where you set your time. The hand alignment, spot on. So yeah, I've got no real complaints with this. It feels really good. Whoops. The crown feels pretty nice as well. Not too much wobble on it or anything like that. Push it in, it starts up the movement every time. Nice, smooth, screw in and screw out action. So yeah, and I don't have anything to complain about. Mine's running pretty good as well. So yeah, the movement, the crown action, it's all A-okay with me. All right, so let's talk about the bracelet on the watch. So it's our typical watch dive style bracelet. 3 links, 3 solid links, solid end links, female pivot end links. We do have drilled lugs there. Nice solid spring bars. Sadly, they are not quick release. I still would have liked to see quick release, but I think they're trying to get away from that for some reason. They have split pins for sizing, and then we have our screw first links there. They still are doing this in case you want to swap on a on the fly clasp. But I think the bracelet itself is fine. The tolerances are actually pretty good on it. I feel like they're kind of refining this a little bit more. Nice brushing on the top there. It's got a nice luster to it. Polishing on the sides there. Sorry about all the fingerprints. But yeah, it looks really good. The bottom edge is nice and soft. This is one of the more comfortable 3-link bracelets that I've seen, especially from Watch Dives. But this is getting up into the territory of like a sugess style. So it's not quite there, but it's getting there. I am having an issue with this clasp here. So we have our typical new Watch Dives clasps. You can see the inside there, a little bit more robust than before. Nice tolerances there. So it does open and close for the most part every single time. I've got 5 levels of micro adjust there, so pretty simple to do that. The brushing and the polishing on it match the bracelet very nicely. There's no real sharp edges on this thing. This back edge here, this top edge, maybe a little bit sharp. I'd like to see that refined a little bit, but it's really not that bad. It's not something that bothers me. But yeah, the issue I have with this is when it's open, when it's not latched, I get some rattle from these button pushers. You can see they kind of wobble around a little bit. There's a little bit of play in the latch mechanism here. So yeah, there's just a little bit of, I think if I just pinched this with some pliers or something like that, it would get rid of 90% of the rattle that I have on this bracelet. Otherwise, besides that, everything works exactly as you would expect it to. I had no issues sizing this. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 links for you guys to remove. So it should fit down to, I would say, like a 6-inch wrist pretty easily. Maybe a little bit bigger than that, but yeah, I do like this watch a lot, or I like the bracelet a lot. I think it looks really good on the watch too. So yeah, they did a pretty good job. You can see the end link fitment as well. I didn't really talk about that. End link fitment follows the case curvature just perfectly, and it's nice and tight in there. There's no gaps or anything like that. So yeah, for the most part, I think the bracelet is actually pretty good. I do have a little bit of an issue with the clasp, but I'm probably going to replace this clasp with an on-the-fly one. So there you go, guys. That is the Watch Dives WD16570 version 2. If you guys are in the market for a Polar Explorer homage, this is the one to get, in my opinion. I know there's some of them out there that are more faithful to the more modern ones, but if you're looking for the 16570, this is the one to get. Even the 1655, this is the one to get. So yeah, I think this is awesome. Yeah, I've got nothing really to complain about other than the clasp, and that can just be just a bad clasp on this model, because I've had this clasp before and without an issue. So yeah, it's just something for watch dives to keep an eye out on, I guess. Other than that, though, I mean, this thing is just perfect. They nailed the proportions. I like the size. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but you know, I can't complain too much. They finally gave us what we've been asking for. And yeah, it turned out really, really good. So yeah, I think that's it for me. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.